There is nothing I hate more than crypto scammers. And with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency growing in awareness and popularity, there are more and more of these scammers crawling through the cracks every day. These scammers are constantly altering their approach and have managed to scam even the most seasoned traders and investors. Well, today I'm going to give you the knowledge so you can protect yourself and your investment from these scammers. We're talking Ponzi schemes, fake exchanges, fake altcoins, pump and dump schemes, old school social media scams, malware and phishing, and lastly, third-party payment fraud, which even I have been a victim of. Are you ready to protect yourself and your investments? Let's go. Before we dive in, quick disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor and the information provided in this video is purely for educational purposes. I wish that I could tell you that if you followed the tips I'm going to provide, you would be 100% protected. But what I can guarantee you is the best protection you can have is knowledge. That being said, let's get down to the business of scamming. Let's start with one of the crypto scams I'm sure most of you have heard of. Ponzi schemes, otherwise known as pyramid schemes. Now, Ponzi schemes are not unique or new to Bitcoin and have actually been around since the 1920s. The premise of a Ponzi scheme is quite simple. Existing investors are paid out with money brought in by new investors. This creates the fake illusion of income or profit. These businesses also ask that users refer new people for a bonus or commission. This then keeps the cycle constantly going. Now, these schemes are often extremely complex and detailed, and they spend a fortune on advertising and may even pay out select users simply to keep up the facade. But at the end of the day, that is all it is, a facade. Some of the most popular Ponzi schemes that have been exposed are Mirror Trading International, BitConnect, and the BitClub network. And millions upon millions upon millions have been lost in these schemes. So how do you spot a Ponzi scheme before you become a victim? Well, if you answer yes to any of these questions, run. Are they guaranteeing you a return or a profit? The truth is nothing is guaranteed, besides the fact that they are probably pulling a scam. Is there a tiered referral bonus of commission for referring new recruits? If that's the case, this is then multi-level marketing and is definitely something you do not want to invest in. Is it a crypto lending platform? This is where you supply funds to a business and they pay you a regular amount of interest, which is normally a crazy percentage. The idea is that there are lenders on the other spectrum of this business who pay that interest, but the harsh reality is there simply is not. Is it a cloud mining platform? This is where you are told that you are earning a steady and normally large return by mining crypto. The BitClub network I mentioned previously ran on this premise for over 5 years before it was exposed that they are not investing the funds into mining equipment and are just pocketing it for themselves. Is it an investment option where they trade on your behalf or have some form of AI bot that does these extremely profitable trades? Anytime someone is offering to trade on your behalf, and especially if they mention an AI bot, they are probably scammers. Because the reality is, if that bot was so successful at trading, they wouldn't need your money. They would simply make their own. Fake crypto exchanges scam their victims by posing as a legitimate exchange, but engage in scamming tactics such as pressuring users to invest more or charging hidden fees to regain access to their funds or stealing their funds altogether. They often also operate as a popular crypto exchange such as Bitstamp, Binance, Coinbase, etc., and use a slightly different but extremely similar domain name to confuse the users. These exchanges are unregulated and sadly vanish overnight. So how do you spot a fake crypto exchange? Number 1, do your homework. CoinMarketCap is an excellent resource to get statistics and data on the various exchanges. If it is not on CoinMarketCap, it is probably not legit. Number 2, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. If they are offering insane results and interest and returns and use the word guaranteed in any way, steer clear. Hackers, as terrible as they are extremely intelligent and creative bastards. When sending Bitcoin from one address to another, always triple check the address you've entered. Some malware, when installed, will change the Bitcoin address when pasted from a user's clipboard, so that all of the Bitcoin gets sent to the hacker's address. And because reversing a Bitcoin transaction once it's been confirmed is pretty impossible, once you do pick up the fault, you won't be able to get your funds back. Phishing websites often go hand in hand with malware and phishing emails. Phishing websites are replica websites designed to steal your login information or force you to download malware. Never install software or log into a website unless you're 100% sure it is legit. Phishing websites often also appear as sponsored results in search engines or in app marketplaces on mobile devices. Be wary that you are not downloading a fake app or clicking on a sponsored result to a phishing website. So how do you protect yourself against phishing websites? Always double check the URL of the website and make sure it is running a security certificate. Make sure your antivirus is up to date and be careful about downloading programs and software from unverified sources. Always do a whois lookup on the domain in question. I will leave a link in the description, but you'll be able to do a reverse check. Now, you won't be able to see the person behind the website, but you will be able to see the country. So if the website is pretending to be based in Switzerland, for example, but a whois check shows that the domain was registered by someone living in Nigeria, it is probably a scam. Altcoins have grown in popularity and in numbers. There are literally thousands of altcoins available, with new ones being launched almost on a daily basis. But the sad truth is that a lot of these altcoins are in fact scam coins. They entice their users via private sales or pre-sale discounts. They'll often have a flashy website and boast a large community to create a fake sense of establishment and to create the fear of missing out effect for new people who discover it. If they don't have a large community, they'll then offer free coins or tokens to get people to come and join their community. The people behind this coin then pump up the price and dump and exit their positions to take a profit. It is sadly not uncommon for these coins to completely die overnight. So how can you protect yourself from becoming a victim of one of these scam coins? Thoroughly research the individual team members behind the coin before you invest, and have a look at their history and see if they have been involved in any other fraudulent activity. A cryptocurrency or ICO white paper is the foundation document for that project. Companies that don't offer white papers should be avoided at all costs. Make sure you read and analyze the white paper very carefully before you invest. Any legitimate company launching an ICO or altcoin will make it extremely easy for investors to purchase tokens or the coin and read their charts. If a company makes it difficult for anyone to chart the progress of its ICO, this is a major red flag. Pump and dump schemes or market manipulation is unfortunately extremely common. Do not trust someone who entices you or others to invest because they claim to know what the price of Bitcoin is going to be. In a pump and dump scheme, a person or persons try to artificially rise up or pump up the price of a coin so that they can dump their holdings and make a profit. This is often bundled with fake news stories or fake celebrity endorsements. And because technology is so good at making things seem real, it's a bit hard to determine what is the fake stuff and what is the real stuff. The easiest way to protect yourself from becoming a victim of the pump and dump scheme is to do your research. Have a look at the price history of the coin you are interested in. Check the charts. Have a look at the relative strength index. You can have a look at an example video up here. And never invest purely because someone tells you to. Always do your homework. Perhaps the most famous example of social media scams happened in July 2020 when Twitter accounts belonging to famous individuals and companies were hacked. Some of the accounts that were compromised were those belonging to tech entrepreneurs Elon Musk and Bill Gates, investor Warren Buffett, boxer Floyd Mayweather Jr., and companies like Apple and Uber. Hackers gained access to Twitter's administrative console and posted tweets from these accounts asking their followers to send money to the specified blockchain address. They promised that the funds would be doubled and sent back as a charitable gesture. According to reports, 320 transactions occurred within minutes of the tweets being posted. Due to the viral nature of how information spreads on the internet, scammers seek to take advantage by offering free Bitcoin or any other digital currency in exchange for a small registration fee or bit of personal information. When you see this on the internet or on social media, it's best to report it immediately so that no one else falls victim. So how can you spot a social media scam? Well, if they're promising you something for free or mention the word giveaway, it is probably a scam. Also, always check the handle of the user in question. Third-party payment fraud is unfortunately very common and hard to detect before it's too late. It's extremely common on peer-to-peer trading platforms like Paxful or localbitcoins.com. Let me explain. John is selling a fridge to Nick. Nick needs to pay for the fridge. He asks John for his banking details. John then jumps onto a peer-to-peer exchange like Paxful or Local Bitcoins and opens up a trade to buy Bitcoin to the same value as the fridge from Michael. Michael sends John the banking details and the reference to use. John copy-pastes those details and sends it to Nick. Nick does the payment and sends the proof back to John. John then sends the proof to Michael on localbitcoins.com or Paxful. Michael sees the proof and the funds in his account and sees that the payment matches the reference he requested, and he releases the Bitcoin to John. John withdraws the Bitcoin and disappears. Nick never gets his fridge. Michael is unknowingly implicated in the fraudulent scam. Now, after a scam like this, we have two people affected. Nick, who's lost his money and never received what he paid for, and Michael, who did receive the money for his Bitcoin, but now has his account associated to this fraudulent activity, which if Nick decides to go and make legal action, his account could be affected. So how do you protect yourself against third-party payment fraud on websites like Paxful and localbitcoins.com? The sad truth is you can't 100%. But there are a few things you can do to limit your exposure to these scammers. I'm going to show you an example on localbitcoins.com, but the same will apply through to Paxful. In localbitcoins.com, when editing your sell adverts, make sure you have your terms stated very clearly in the terms of trade section, as well as the fact that you do not accept third-party payments. If you scroll further down, make sure you have identified people only selected, as well as SMS verification required. Further to this, when someone opens up a trade with you, if you are uncertain about that person, ask them to verify the fact that they are the account holder so that you don't take the chance of putting your account at risk. Well guys, I hope I've managed to open up your eyes to some of the potential scams you might encounter on your crypto journey. Let me know in the comments if you've discovered any others and any advice you might have. If you enjoyed this video, please smash that like button. If this is the type of content you enjoy, everything e-commerce to crypto and everything in between, hit that subscribe button and we'll see you in the next video.